What's going on, fellow Star Wars fans? It's Prestige back with our Star Wars video. Now, in one of my last videos, I asked you guys if you wanted to see what if Mace Windu trained Anakin, and a lot of you guys said yes, so here we are. But what would happen if Mace Windu ended up training Anakin, as Mace was much more experienced than Obi-Wan was? If you're interested in all things Star Wars, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video. But without further ado, let's get into the story. After the death of Qui-Gon Jinn on Naboo, the Jedi Council decided to call a meeting to discuss the fate of the boy who Qui-Gon claimed to be the Chosen One. Qui-Gon asked me to train the boy. It was his last wish, for the boy to be trained. Not ready for this challenge, are you? Qui-Gon believed in this boy. Why don't any of you? Train the boy will be. I will train the boy, Mace would say as his eyes locked onto Obi-Wan. The boy clearly has potential, but I fear he has too many attachments at his age already. Won't be easy, but I'm the most equipped for this task. As the rest of the council would agree, as Anakin would spend the next 10 years of his life training under Master Windu. This Anakin would be a lot more different than the one that we knew in the original timeline. He'd be much more disciplined, and he'd be more of a tactical fighter, as Mace was a much stricter teacher and was the father figure that Anakin needed, and not the brother figure that he got in Obi-Wan. In the original timeline, Mace didn't like how Yoda and Obi-Wan would let Anakin off the hook with all of his rogue actions. But under Mace, Anakin would not be as reckless and would be more calm-minded in these tough situations. Leading us to the events of Episode 2, where Anakin would be assigned to protect Padme and Mace would look for the person who hired the bounty hunter to try to kill her. Leading to the Battle of Geonosis, where Obi-Wan and Anakin would chase after Dooku while Mace went to the front lines of the battlefield. However, this fight would go differently this time around, as Anakin, who was much more disciplined, would listen to Obi-Wan and not charge at Dooku right away, as the two of them would take on Dooku together. Anakin would be a lot stronger this time than he was originally during Episode 2, but Anakin's Vapad, which was the lightsaber technique that Mace Windu used, which could turn your opponent's dark side energy against them, would not be very effective against Dooku, as Dooku was not a true Sith, and didn't fight with the same level of hate and anger that other Siths would. While Anakin and Obi-Wan would put up a much better fight than they did originally, they would still be bested by Dooku, allowing him to escape. Leading us to the Battle of Coruscant, where Anakin and Mace would go to rescue the Chancellor, as the two would face Dooku in a lightsaber duel. As Dooku, with a little help from Palpatine, which I do think Palpatine had something to do with Obi-Wan getting knocked out so easily, as Dooku was able to get through his force shield. Dooku would force push Mace Windu against the wall, knocking him out, leaving Anakin as the last Jedi standing. Dooku would try to toy with Anakin, but would be quickly overpowered by the Jedi Knight, as Anakin would be told to do it. And he would kill Dooku on command. After Anakin, Palpatine, and Mace would arrive on Coruscant, Mace would be very suspicious about what happened when he was knocked out. After the Chancellor would walk away with the rest of the politicians, Mace would ask Anakin what happened when he was knocked out, and why he didn't capture Dooku instead of killing him. Well, at first, Anakin would not want to say anything, but finally, he would tell Mace what happened. He would say that it was Palpatine who directed him to kill Dooku. Mace, who was always very suspicious of the Chancellor, would bring this matter before the Jedi Council. However, Jedi had no way to prove this in a court of law, as it's just a he said type of situation. So they would keep this information, but would not act upon it at this moment. Palpatine would continue to try to lure Anakin to the dark side with stories of Darth Plagueis, and try to put doubt in Anakin's mind about the Jedi. However, to Palpatine's surprise when he appointed Anakin to the Jedi Council as his personal representative, they would make him a master. As one of the main reasons Mace didn't want to make Anakin a master before was his lack of discipline. But being trained by Mace Windu, Anakin was much more disciplined and was more of a tactical fighter than reckless, so the Jedi would pronounce him a Jedi Master. This would give Anakin access to the restricted section of the Jedi Library, where he would look for a way to cheat death like Palpatine said, but he wouldn't find anything on the matter. No Jedi or Sith power was ever documented. When finally, Palpatine would reveal himself as the Sith Lord the Jedi had been looking for. Anakin would then report this to Mace Windu, and Mace would tell Anakin to sit in the Jedi Council room until he returned with a group of Masters. And this time, Anakin would wait as directed. While Anakin was interested in this power, there's nothing he could find on the matter in the Jedi archives, which made Anakin start to doubt what Palpatine was telling him. when after some time, Mace would come into the council chamber room with his robes torn and sweating. What happened? What do you think happened? Don't care the matter. He was very powerful, but I was able to use my Vapod to counter him. Then, Mace would contact all remaining Jedi to return to the temple. However, Mace would end up being arrested for his assassination of the Chancellor. But with all the evidence about Palpatine being a traitor, Mace ended up getting off with these charges. Padme would then give birth to Luke and Leia, and when they were old enough, the two would be entered the Jedi Academy to be trained, as life in the galaxy would finally start to quiet down with the end of the war. I hope you enjoyed this one. I feel like this Anakin would be a lot more different than the one we knew. He'd be more disciplined and tactical due to Mace's training. Yet I think that Palpatine's lure on Anakin would be a lot less effective this time, since Mace would be Anakin's father figure and not Palpatine, since Obi-Wan was more of a brother to Anakin than a father. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.